Kobe Bean Bryant was born on August 23 in 1978 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Named after a city in Japan, Bryant is the son of former NBA player Joe "Jelly Bean" Bryant. In 1984, after ending his NBA career, the elder Bryant took the family to Italy, where he played in the Italian League. Growing up in Italy alongside two athletic older sisters, Saya and Saria, Bryant was an avid player of both basketball and soccer. When the family returned to Philadelphia in 1991, Bryant joined the Lower Merion High School basketball team, leading it to the state championships 4 years in a row. With an eye on the NBA, he also started working out with the 76ers. Though he boasted good grades and high SAT scores, Bryant decided to go straight to the NBA from high school. He was selected by the Charlotte Hornets with the 13th overall pick of the 1996 NBA draft and was subsequently traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. Bryant was called one of the greatest players in the history of our game by NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, and the New York Times wrote that he had one of the most decorated careers in the history of the sport. With career averages of 25 points, 5.2 rebounds, 4.7 assists and 1.7 steals per game, he was considered one of the most complete players in NBA history. Bryant primarily played as a shooting guard. He was listed at 1.98 meters and 96 kilos. He was often cited as one of the most dangerous scorers in the NBA. Chris Ballard of Sports Illustrated described another of Bryant's most famous moves as a jab step and pause. Bryant jabbed his non-pivot foot forward to let the defender relax, but instead of bringing the jab foot back, he pushed off of it and drove around his opponent to get to the basket. Kobe Bryant spent his entire 20-year career with the Los Angeles Lakers in the National Basketball Association. Regarded as one of the greatest players of all time, Bryant helped the Lakers win 5 NBA championships and was an 18-time All-Star, a 15-time member of the All-NBA team, a 12-time member of the All-Defensive team, the 2008 NBA Most Valuable Player, and a 2-time NBA Finals MVP. Bryant also led the NBA in scoring twice and ranks first on the league's all-time regular season scoring and all-time postseason scoring lists.
Bryant was the youngest of 3 children. He grew up with 2 older sisters, Saria and Saya, and had a close relationship with them until his death. The Bryant's first daughter was born in January of 2003. The birth resulted in a reconciliation between Bryant and his parents. Their second daughter, Gianna Maria Honore, was born in May 2006. In early December of 2016, Vanessa gave birth to their fellow children at 9:45 a.m. The helicopter crashed into the side of the mountain in Calabasas, about 49 kilometers northwest of downtown Los Angeles, and began burning. Bryant, his daughter, and the other 7 occupants were killed. Initial reports indicated that the helicopter crashed into the hills above Calabasas. The NBA had postponed the Lakers game against the Clippers just 2 days after the accident on January 28. On January 30, the first game after the crash was played at Staples Center between the Clippers and the Knicks. The Clippers honored Bryant before the game with Southern California native Paul George narrating a video tribute to Bryant. The next day, the Lakers played their first game after the crash against the Trail Blazers. Ahead of the match, the Lakers paid tribute to Bryant and all who lost their lives in the crash with a ceremony held just before tip-off.